try and get them to beat them through the air, though.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that Lehighton will challenge the Cardinals to throw the ball. I think it's important for the Cardinals to get off to a good start tonight, too. I think their confidence is a major factor in this ballgame. If they get down early and their confidence level falls any lower than what it might well be coming into the ballgame, they could be in serious trouble and get blown away.
All right, there are the captains. Let's look in.
Okay, it's very simple tonight, fellas. One thing I just want to say, you're here to play football, okay? Play football, that's it, okay? Anything else, we'll take care of it. It's going to be a long night. It's done to it, okay? Just play football and have a good game. Visiting team is white, the home team is red, okay? Heads, tails, call what's in the air. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. Who's going to call it? Number 20? Heads he calls. It is a head. White, you have the choice: kick, receive, defend a goal, or defer to the second half. You want to defer. White has won the toss and will defer to the second half. Red, your choice: kick, receive, or defend a goal. You want to receive? What goal do you want to defend, White? Your choice, Joseph. Okay, stand here, face the scoreboard. Red, put your back to the scoreboard. Red, receive. White will defend this goal. Fellas.
So Lehighton will get the ball first. That referee you saw, Glenn Bray. The umpire will be Bill Papano. The head linesman, Tony Indurato. Lee Reedy is the field judge, and the back judge will be Jack Malarkey. Marching band, and there's some of this large crowd at Lehighton. To think about for that man, Dave Parsons. His team right now, the Hunted.
But he has momentum on his side. They're coming in off a win. They're 5-0. Pocono Mountain, as I've said before, has to be, if not down, certainly doubting themselves a little bit after last week, and that's gotta be a factor in this ball game. That's why I'm sort of surprised that they deferred after winning the opening toss. I thought they'd take the ball, thinking that they had more confidence in their offense than in their defense, but they're putting a lot of pressure on their defense to go out and stop the Indians in the opening series. I'd have guessed that they'd have decided that the offense had a better chance of establishing itself, but we'll see what Coach Joe Garrick's thinking about coming into this ball game.
Cardinal fans, number 5 is Mike Johnson. He usually wears number 30. That's a number change. Dave Morton will be wearing number 88 instead of number 61. Pocono Mountain in white, Lehighton in maroon. The Cardinals will move left to right, the Indians right to left. For Pocono Mountain, it will be the senior kicker Chad Kurt to kick off. Chris Green, Kyle Williams, and Daryl Snyder are deep for the Indians. Kurtz puts it in the play. It will be Green at the 5. And out to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for Lehighton. It was Joe Agnello and Kevin Van Duerson on the tackle, and there's the Indian offense. Eckert, the quarterback, Green, Gombert, and Williams in the wishbone. Brian Lush, the ends. Up front, Andrews, Hawk, Smith, Wentz, and Nostein. They shift one step to the left. Chris Green on the give. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's to the outside where he's the most dangerous. He breaks a tackle and he will go all the way. The opening snap is a Lehighton touchdown. It is a 69-yard run for Chris Green.
And I'm surprised that the Cardinals let him do that. I'm sure we'll take a look at it again, but one of the keys in defending the Indians is if Chris Green lines up as a halfback, you got to defend the outside on the opposite side because they love to run Chris Green to that outside. That's what they did there. The Cardinals didn't stay home. 6 points for the Indians.
Chris Green for the extra point. The kick is a line drive, no good, but Lehighton has scored on the first play from scrimmage. It is 6-0 Indians.
The American Chiropractic Association has exclusively endorsed and recommended Springwall chiropractic bedding sets for 24 years. And to celebrate, we're offering anniversary edition Springwall mattresses and box springs at special low prices.
That's right, Jim, and they're on sale right now, right here at Hager Furniture, where quality is affordable. With every set, you get free removal of old bedding and free setup. So come on down to Hager Furniture.
Lehighton leads it 6-0. Do you think that Coach Joe Garrick will defer the next time he wins the toss?
As I said before, I'm surprised that he put the pressure on his defense right off the bat. I think Pocono Mountain is more of an offensive-minded ball club than a defensive one.
Johnson, Pulowski, and Janucci are deep. It is a line drive through the hands of Janucci. He picks it up near the goal line. And only out across the 10-yard line. Here's the Cardinal offense. Jim Simelli's the quarterback. Pulowski, Johnson, and Nero will be in the wishbone. Janucci will be one tight end. When they go to a double tight set, Morton will be the other, and Murley will be the split end when they have one. Lima's the center. Quinones and DeLello are the guards. Bradley and Edwards are the tackles.
And the Indians have 10 men up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
A mix-up in the backfield. Johnson gets the give and goes right down. It was Ryan Wentz, the defensive tackle, who was behind the line of scrimmage to make the play. Defensively for the Indians, Mike Sterling will be the nose. Hawk and Wentz the tackles. Blair and Lush the ends. The linebackers, Gombert and Snyder with Williams in the middle. Fry, Hibbler, and Green are the deep men.
And it seems as though Murphy's Law is in operation here tonight for the Cardinals.
Fumble, and the Indians have the ball. Nero was the ball carrier. Hibbler came up with the ball, and if we can see that again, we'll find out who made the fantastic hit for the Indians.
Here it comes.
It was Hawk,
55. Wright came across and put a good hit on him. And as I said, Murphy's Law is in operation here tonight, working against the Cardinals. They fumbled that kickoff. On first down, there was a mix-up in the backfield. And on second down, they fumble the ball, and Lehighton recovers. So, needless to say, the Cardinals are not in very good shape at this point.
Right, the Cardinal defense, Kevin Van Duerson and Dave Morton are the tackles, Johnson and Janucci the end. The linebackers are Nero, Lima, DeLello, and Santoro. Pulowski, Altimos, and Bozzoni are the deep men. First down, Lehighton. Play action fake. Eckert to throw, tipped, incomplete.
Lush going across the field against rotation, but the Cardinals stayed at home. There was a linebacker there and a defensive back, and the linebacker hit it, and Lush couldn't get his hands on the ball.
Dom DeLello was the defender who got his hand on it. It is 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Williams through a hole, puts his head down at the 5 and forces his way to the 4-yard line, and the Cardinals say that they have recovered a fumble, and they have.
Well, certainly that's a big break to keep the Cardinals in the game here early. Lehighton would have had a 1st and goal at the 4, and I'm surprised that Williams fumbles. Now that's a play, Bob, that the Cardinals have got to be set up to stop. When you play Lehighton, Kyle Williams lines up at fullback, you have to say to the world, Kyle Williams is not going to run straight ahead against him. He may beat us some other way, or Lehighton may beat us some other way, but Kyle Williams isn't going to do that.
From the 4, the handoff is to Pulowski, and he will get very little.
The three things you say when you try to defend the Indian offense. One, Kyle Williams out of the fullback slot's not going to beat us straight ahead. Chris Green out of the halfback slot's not going to run wide. He already ran 69 yards for a touchdown. And Chris Green lining up at a split end is not going to catch a deep pass.
Darryl Snyder was the man who made the tackle. It is 2nd and 7. The give again to Pulowski, and he again goes nowhere. Hawk in there on the tackle. Also there for Lehighton is Ryan Wentz, and it is 3rd and 5.
Ryan Wentz on the stop.
It's going to be tough for the Cardinals to move the ball on the ground under any circumstance, but certainly deep in their own territory, it's going to be doubly difficult because the Indians are just going to gang up on the line of scrimmage. And as I said initially, there are 10 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage for the Lehighton defense.
From the 9, it's Pulowski on the give. He tries to get to the outside, but cannot. Mike Gombert and Lamont Hibbler come up and make the tackle. And a nice play by Lush to stay at home.
Yep, three Indians there, so they're obviously ready to stop Pulowski. I think the Cardinals, if they're going to move the ball, are going to have to go to Johnson and Nero whenever they get the chance.
Kurtz will most likely kick with his left foot. Green and Williams are deep. He gets it away. Takes a Pocono bounce. Williams picks it up to midfield. To the 40. And out of bounds.
And there's a flag down.
And a play thrown up at the 40-yard line.
Flag on a run back. That usually means one thing. An illegal block. And it is. It's a low block against Lehighton, so this will drop them back. The flag sits at the 44. So this should put Lehighton back to their own 41. And it does. The first penalty of the evening goes against the Indians, a 15-yarder.
And the Cardinals have got to make some adjustments defensively. They've got to set up to stop Kyle Williams inside and Chris Green to the outside, particularly as long as the Indians stay in their wishbone with Williams at fullback and Green at the left halfback slot.
First down. Williams straight ahead, stopped after a short gain. It was Dom DeLello, the linebacker, and Kevin Van Duerson, the tackle, making the stop.
Now you got to look for Green to go outside, assuming they line up in that same offensive set. The thing of it is, of course, the Indians can go with Williams running out of the tailback slot in the I formation.
There's Joe Garrick. Second down, Indians. Sean Monk comes wide to the near side. Gombert in the slotted motion. The pitch is to Green to the outside. He's got a blocker out there. Gets to the outside, and he will be close to a first down. Matt Nero spins him out of bounds.
And the corner did not do the job. He's got to come up and meet that play and force the play inside much sooner. But you'll see that the number 64 there for the Cardinals, Dom DeLello, did not come up. The blocker was able to turn his shoulders upfield. That gave Green the opportunity to turn his shoulders upfield and get very, very close to the first down. If I were a betting man, I would bet that he picked it up.
They bring the chains from across the field.
And I'd probably lose a fortune. Well, not this time. But the Cardinals are going to have to show early on the corners to force the Indian runners back into the pursuit, trying to get to the outside.
First and 10, Lehighton. Wide to the left side comes Danny Fry. And they do shift Williams to the tailback.
Okay, now this is a different Lehighton offense.
Williams from the tailback spot, still on his feet, fights his way for extra yardage, and he is close to a first down.
Now, when Williams moves to the tailback, then you've got to do something else. And in other words, you call your defenses according to where Kyle Williams lines up. There are two distinct Lehighton offenses. The Williams at fullback offense and the Williams at tailback offense.
Dave Morton made the stop. It'll be shy by about a yard of a first down. 21 yards on 3 carries for Kyle Williams. 77 yards on 2 carries for Chris Green.
Okay, here's Williams lining up at the left halfback. Goes to the tailback.
Darryl Snyder is in there as the fullback. He is shielded behind that pole. And Bobby Eckhart calls a timeout. He did not like what he saw. A lot of shifting in the backfield. Dave Parsons will step in and talk about it. 5:54 remains. First quarter, it is 6-0 Lehighton.
Today's game is being brought to you by Colombo & Sons Italian Deli, located at 40 Pocono Boulevard in Mount Pocono. Stop in and enjoy the best imported cheeses, fresh homemade mozzarella, dried and semi-dry sausage, Italian sausage and appetizers, New York-style hot and cold 2 to 6 foot heroes on Italian bread from Brooklyn, cold platter catering menu for all occasions, and new waiter and waitress service. Call 717-839-3866.
All right, it is 2nd and 1 for Lehighton. They have the ball just inside the 40 of Pocono Mountain. Gombert in motion. Williams on the give. He did not get much. Stood up at the line of scrimmage by Nero and Morton, but he should have the first down.
Good defensive play by the Cardinals there, and that should certainly perk them up a bit.
They'll bring the chains in one more time.
Nero's a fine football player, by the way. I'm impressed with Matt Nero. Only a junior, 5'11", 205, and he can do it all. I think if the Cardinals are going to have success offensively tonight, they're going to have to give the ball to Nero quite a bit.
It is a first down for the Indians. The ball at the 39. of Pocono Mountain.
And Williams is at fullback here. Now you got to be looking for Green to run to the outside.
Here's Gomber put behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down. Mike Johnson comes in and makes the play.
Now the Indians will run that play, but more often than not, they will not run it effectively. For whatever reason, I don't know. Gumbert's a nice runner, but they just aren't as effective when Gumbert's running the ball as when Williams or Green is. So that's really not of much concern to the Cardinal defense.
They lose 4.
See, now the Cardinals are not packed inside to stop Williams if he were to run the ball, but Eckhart's going to throw.
And throwing deep for Lush, it is incomplete. Bazzoni was deep.
3rd and 14.
Matt Nero was also back there in coverage, well downfield. See who was also there. Looks like Dan Altimos was there too.
Yeah, Lush could have caught that ball. That's not to say he should have, but he could have. Eckert on the money.
Mike Santoro also out there.
Okay, here Green goes into a slot, and you're concerned with Mike Green. Or Chris Green, excuse me. Chris Green.
Eckhart to throw. He has a lot of time and a lot of room to run. He throws it up instead. Tipped and almost caught by Chris Green. He was looking for Mike Lush. Green nearly came up with the football.
Now, Eckhart makes a mistake here, Bob, and we're going to see it on replay. And that is he doesn't set his feet. Watch, he's going to throw this thing as he's moving. There's nobody around him. He could have set his feet and been much more accurate than trying to throw the ball on the move.
Also could have run for about 20 yards.
Oh, yes, you're right. He could have.
It was Joe Pulaski who got his hand on the ball. Bobby Eckhart will drop back to his own 45 to kick it away. End over end. It takes a Lehighton bounce inside the 10 and to about the 8-yard line where it is down. So the Cardinals with poor field position their first couple of drives.
The Cardinals will take over with 4:23 left here in the first quarter.
They started on their own 13, their own 4, and now their own 8 to verify what you just said.
So Pocono Mountain has to dig out of the hole one more time.
Now, the last time they gave the ball to Pulaski 3 times, I don't think that's the way they're going to beat Lehighton.
From that wishbone straight ahead, Nero, and there is nothing really there. Hawk hit him first, slowed him up, and then Mike Lush came in, finished him off. Kyle Williams was also there. It'll be 2nd down and about 7.
He picked up 3 yards, which is certainly not a bad first down play. And if Pulaski's going to be effective, the Cardinals must make the Indians respect Nero.
There's Pulaski hit behind the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards. Darryl Snyder was the first man in there to make the play.
Yeah, and the Indians were in a stunt that time. Somebody comes across there. I believe it was Williams, 32. Yeah, and I don't know if what his key is or if it was a predetermined stunt, but whatever it was, he was right there in the Cardinal backfield to hit Pulaski as soon as he got the ball or even before he got the ball.
Well, so far, Lehighton has shut down the run. Will Pocono throw?
I doubt if they're going to take a chance in their own territory.
Here's the give to Pulaski. Hawk wraps him up. Pulaski gets just a few, and they'll have to kick the ball away.
And as I said before, this ball game will be determined, I think, to a large degree by which offensive line makes the adjustments, does the blocking up front. So far, the Cardinal offensive line hasn't given those backs much of an opportunity to show their stuff.
Kurtz drops back into his own end zone. He'll kick 1 yard deep. Kyle Williams and Chris Green stand near midfield. Kurtz with the left foot kicks it to Kyle Williams, who calls for the fair catch, and Lehighton will start this possession from the 48 of Pocono Mountain. So the Indians go back on offense, and we'll see what twist the varied Indian attack takes. Kyle Williams has already seen time both at fullback and tailback. The Indians go to their normal wishbone. Williams at fullback.
Right.
Chris Green breaks one tackle to the outside, breaks another. It's a foot race. He dropped the football. He just lost the ball, and luckily for the Indians, it went out of bounds. Mike Santoro was out there. He was the last man who could make a play, but Green just lost it.
A great run by Green. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. I thought Johnson was going to bring him down.
Out of bounds at the 11. Indians first down.
But Johnson couldn't hold on. Green broke the tackle and went down that far sideline on a nice run.
First down, Lehighton. Green out. And Terry Blair is in as the left halfback.
Now they're going to run Williams out of the fullback straight ahead. Nope, they run Gumbert on the crossbuck. Okay, fake to Williams.
Gombert goes left. Dave Morton makes the tackle for Pocono Mountain.
Dave Morton on the stop.
And it'll be second down and about 6. Mike Gombert gets back to even yardage. He lost 4 earlier, made 4 here.
Again, look for Williams straight ahead. This is their
penalty markers fly. The play is blown dead. And it's going to go against the Cardinals. Offside against Pocono Mountain. Their first penalty of the evening.
And that play was to Williams. He had taken the handoff. And I would certainly not be surprised to see the Indians go to it again.
Penalty, the Indians with the ball inside the 5.
Well, it was 2nd and 6, and a 5-yard penalty leaves them 2nd and a long 2. My math doesn't add up either.
No.
Fumble. And Lehighton has it back. Bobby Eckhart pulled out without the football and got back on it.
Looked to me as though the Cardinals were going to fall on it. I was surprised to see the official raise his hand and indicate that Lehighton had recovered.
3rd down 3 for Lehighton. They can get a first down at about the 1-yard line.
Lehighton has been in a position here in the first quarter to break this game wide open, to almost put it away.
Green is back in. Gombert goes in motion. Green on the pitch to the outside, looks for a block, cuts in, gets that block, and scores the 2nd touchdown of the evening.
No inside help here. The corner showed well for the Cardinals. He forced Green to turn inside. Right there, but he got no help from the inside. He did his job that time. Somebody else did not fill that lane.
Rich Nostine was the man who made the block, even though it was turned inside. Nobody else was out there. 4 plays, 48 yards for Lehighton. Chris Green has just scored his 14th touchdown of the season.
And this first quarter has been a story of Chris Green and field position.
For 2, Green on the pitch to the outside. Nobody out there, and he scores the 2. 27 seconds are left in the first quarter. Lehighton leads it 14-0.
The time is now. Elect Bill Schwab as the new Court of Common Pleas judge for Carbon County. More than anyone else, Bill Schwab has the qualifications: legal experience, fairness, and compassion. The time is now. Bill Schwab, a practicing attorney in Carbon County, active in the United Way and Boy Scouts, taking time to help people in need. Experience, fairness, and compassion for victims of crime. Vote Bill Schwab for judge. Paid for by the Friends of Bill Schwab for judge. The time is now. Elect DeLong Gerhard for county commissioners. DeLong and Gerhard have a combined elected governmental experience of 48 years. The candidates with a vision to move Carbon County into the 21st century. The time is now. DeLong Gerhard are environmentally conscious and care about our future generations. Both candidates want to make Carbon County a place we all can enjoy. Vote DeLong Gerhard for county commissioners. Paid for by the committee to elect DeLong Gerhard. Remember, the time is now.
14-0, Lehighton leads. Jim, you called it the Chris Green show a moment ago. 4 carries, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. You know, Chris Green lines up certain places, and you say he's going to run here, and you make sure that you have people there. So far, the Cardinals haven't done that.
Timothy Hausman kicks off. Pulowski fields it at the 10, 20, 29. Mike Sterling makes the tackle for Lehighton. Pocono Mountain finally gets the ball out from under the shadow of their own goalpost.
And we'll see now if the Cardinals have anything else in their game plan other than Nero straight ahead, Pulaski right, Pulaski left.
From the eye, the handoff is to Pulowski. He is across the 30 to the 32. Steve Hawk and Mike Lush make the tackle. And a penalty marker is thrown. A low block is called against the Cardinals.
Little block against the Cardinals.
That would have been the best offensive play that the Cardinals have run from scrimmage, about 5 yards.
Yeah, the Cardinals just shooting themselves in the foot here in the first quarter. This is exactly what they didn't need. As you called it a moment ago, Bob, they had their best field position of the night. They had their best offensive play of the game. And on that play, they get a 15-yard penalty.
17. First and 22.
It'll be 1st and 22. The ball is back at the 17, 18-yard line.
You know, one of the interesting things so far is that the Cardinals have not tried to get Pulaski to the outside. Lehighton has gotten Green, their sprinter, to the outside. The Cardinals haven't even tried to get Pulaski to the outside.
The clock runs and the clock stops. That is the end of the first quarter. A first quarter that was all Chris Green. 4 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the Indians lead it 14-0.
If you are looking for a company that specializes in plumbing and heating, call George's Plumbing and Heating of Aquashiqua. They are experts at keeping you comfortable all year round. With George's Plumbing and Heating, you can count on prompt, dependable, efficient service day in and day out. They will replace your old unit with new, energy-efficient equipment, clean and service your oil burner, and keep your oil tank full. So for the best in plumbing and heating, call George's Plumbing and Heating of Aquashiqua. Let their expertise put your mind at ease.
14-0, Lehighton leads. This is the start of the second quarter. Semelli to throw. For the first time, it is incomplete. He was looking for Bill Janucci. Lamont Hibbler was the corner in coverage. And it is 2nd down and 22. Pardon me, that is the second time Semelli has thrown.
certainly not something that the Cardinals have done often this year, and not something they want to do often tonight. But they may be approaching that point where they're going to have to.
Dave Murley is wide right. Semelli hands off on the draw. It is Pulowski. Pulowski to the 25. Stevie Hawk makes the tackle. It will still be 3rd and long.
Pulowski certainly a threat to break one at any time, but he's got to get some running room before he's going to do that.
Murley to the left this time. From the eye. Semelli wants to throw again, and does. Incomplete. He was looking for Mike Johnson out of the backfield. Danny Fry was there covering.
And the Indian defense doing a nice job. Semelli has time, but Johnson is well covered. And the Indian defense has not allowed a first down so far tonight.
And Kurtz will punt.
Which is something he has done 4 times already? Or is this the 4th?
Fair catch made by Chris Green at the 41. So again, the Indians get fine field position.
And a lot of pressure on that Cardinal defense. They've got to stop the Indians on this series, or pretty much kiss their hopes goodbye for upsetting the Indians here tonight.
Joe Pulowski to this point, 8 carries, 21 yards. On the verge of breaking the Pocono Mountain career rushing record.
Set by whom?
Do you know?
I could make a good guess if I could think of his name. How about Straub?
Eckhart to throw deep. Chris Green, he had it and lost it. Had it and lost it.
That was a well-thrown ball.
Jason Bozzoni in coverage. Pulowski was there too, but it was Bozzoni who I believe got a hand in and stripped that football.
What was very, very impressive on that play was that Eckhart put it on the money under pressure. There were 2 guys bearing down on him as he threw the ball, and he stood right in there and made a nice throw. Impressive.
The Indians back to their normal wishbone. Kyle Williams at fullback gets the give. Through a big hole, a first down and more. 40, 30, it's a foot race. 10, touchdown. Kyle Williams. It is a 58-yard touchdown run for Kyle Williams.
And a 58-yard touchdown drive in 2 plays. The play Lehighton runs 10 times a game. You know they're going to run it, and you've got to say to yourself, as some teams have done this year, Tamaqua took that play away from them because Tamaqua recognized that Williams ran that play very, very well, that it was a main part of the Lehighton offense, and they lined 3 guys up inside and said, you're not going to run it, and Williams didn't run it, if you remember that ball game. Now, sometimes the Cardinals line up in a defense designed to stop that play. That time, they didn't.
Lehighton for 2. Eckhart trying to throw. He will not be able to get rid of it. Bill Janucci makes the tackle, but Lehighton scores again. It is 20-0. 10:52 remains in the first half.
To be in the center of the local sports scene, check out the Times News. If you want to be a quarterback too, the Times News will put you right in the huddle. We bomb the competition with stats, columns, and facts.
For the best in sports coverage, read the Times News and Saturday Early Times.
Kick off your football weekend with Saturday's Early Times.
I'm Ed Heddes, sports editor of the Times News, and this is your hometown sports team.
Joe Plaska, Steve Stallone, Emmett McCall, Rod Heckman,
And Todd Suarez. Catch the Times News and join our winning team now.
Lehighton leads it 20-0. I think the important thing here for Lehighton is to keep their heads in this one. How many times have we seen a team jump out to a big lead only to have the other come back?
That could happen. Pocono Mountain has the weapons, but Lehighton, I don't think is going to let that happen.
Pulowski into a crowd, gets to the 35-yard line. It is 1st and 10. If we can see the touchdown again, watch the blocking right up the middle, especially Hawk. Hawk will push his man right out of the way, and then Kyle Williams is on his horse.
Yeah, and the Cardinals were in a stunned right away from that area where Williams loves to run. I don't understand.
Nero and Pulowski in the eye. Johnson is the wing back right. Here comes Johnson on the counter. And up to make the nice play is Danny Steigerwald. So Danny Steigerwald comes up and turns what looked to be a big play into a short gain.
Well, he stayed home. You watch him. He just sat there and didn't go for the inside fake, didn't look to the other side of the field, stayed where he belonged and put a good hit on Johnson.
It is a 3-yard gain for Mike Johnson.
Cardinals got to first pick up a first down, Bob. That's their first objective. They don't have any. And after they do that, then they can worry about the score.
Semelli throws incomplete. He was looking for Pulowski in the little flare out, and Kyle Williams nearly picked that one off, and had he caught that football, there was nobody between him and the end zone but blades of grass.
Right, and if we see that again, watch the people on the Lehighton defensive unit react to wherever Pulowski goes. He takes 2 steps and there's somebody right with him. There was no way Semelli was going to get the ball to Pulowski.
Semelli to throw again. Steps up. Fumble! Mike Lush knocked it out, and the Indians have it. Kyle Williams with the ball. Mike Lush knocked it out of Jim Semelli's hands.
Semelli does the right thing. He steps up, but he doesn't feel the pressure as Lush hits him from behind. Doesn't put the ball away, and Lehighton's in business again.
Kyle Williams straight ahead, not much there.
That's the same play that the Indians ran last play for 58 yards and a Kyle Williams touchdown.
This time Bill Janucci is there to make the stop. Kyle Williams picks up 2.
And how much yardage does Williams have tonight already? You mentioned that Green had over 120 yards in the first quarter.
6 carries, 82 yards for Williams. On 2nd down, Mike Lush on the end around. And he has a first down.
And that'll give the 2 teams that the Indians have remaining something to think about. Another play they have to defend against as the Indians ran that effectively. I believe that was Steve Hawk out in front leading the way.
Tom Lima finally made the tackle. I'd have to guess that that is the first carry this year by Mike Lush.
I certainly would assume so.
And the 5th first down for the Indians at the 19.
Come on, offensive line, fire out!
Chris Green, this time caught behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's the first time that he's really been stopped.
On the stop along with Nero.
Joe Agnello coming in to make the tackles. Dave Morton was also there. It is a gain of 1. The wishbone shifts 1 step to the left. It is Green back to the right to the 15-yard line.
Johnson came up and put on a good hit, as did Agnello.
That is a gain of 2. It is 3rd and 7.
Certainly not a passing situation, or not an automatic passing situation, considering field position here.
Fry tight left, Lush tight right. The back's in the wishbone. Kyle Williams on that runaway give. Williams is inside the 5 to the 4, and that'll be a first down.
And again, the Indians go to their favorite play. That's Williams right over center. And if you notice, the Cardinals didn't have a man there. They were in an even defense. There wasn't a down lineman there. There wasn't a linebacker there. The hole's there, and they line up. And the Indians taking advantage of it.
Kyle Williams back to the halfback, tailback spot, actually. Here's the give to Williams, running right. He stood up near the 2.
And he ran that play well. He saw a seam, put his shoulder down and got into that seam and got all the yardage he could, instead of trying to turn it to the outside.
It was Matt Nero who hit him first. John Bradley, 74, was also there. It is 2nd and goal from the 2. Darryl Snyder, I thought he lost the ball.
Darryl Snyder carrying.
Pardon me, I take that back.
Wasn't that Gumbert?
I think it was Gombert.
It was 25.
I got faked. I was looking at Snyder. It was Gombert on the carry. And Gombert got back to the line of scrimmage.
Ball still at the 2.
Field announcer Tom Shaver is going to get angry with you, Bob. He announced Snyder.
That's what he gets for listening to me.
Well, I know that you are not trustworthy, but he may not be aware of that yet.
Pitch to Green to the outside. Did he get in? Yes, touchdown. Chris Green with his 3rd touchdown of the evening.
And his, what, 16th of the year?
16th.
That's a few touchdowns.
'15th touchdown of the year for Chris Green. The extra point on the fake, the pass to Lush, good. From Hibbler, the holder, to Mike Lush. And it is all Lehighton 28-0.
For the most complete sports coverage in the Poconos, look for the Pocono Post, the weekly newspaper that features...
Tigerwald was right there to make sure he stayed there.
His knee touch is down at the 19-yard line.
And everything the Cardinals try to throw at the Indians, a little razzle-dazzle, the passing, the running.
From the opening play from scrimmage, everything has gone wrong for the Cardinals tonight. Now, let's face it, the Indians have something to do with that.
Here's Pulowski running. Darryl Snyder is there to make the stop. Terry Blair is also
and
in
Ryan
on that
Wentz.
tackle.
And Ryan Wentz, 61 also.
2-yard pickup.
It is a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. On the draw, Pulowski again. And the middle of the defense is there to make the stop. Mike Sterling, Terry Blair come together and stop him. There's a big Indian fan. And there's a big Indian fan.
A little bit bigger the second one. Maybe not in spirit.
3 for Pulowski, 3rd and 4 for the Cardinals. There's Johnson on that wingback trap again. Fumble the football. Chris Green picks it up. Cuts in, cuts out, touchdown.
Now, if we have that on replay, we're going to see that he was out of bounds.
The run back is 26 yards for Chris Green.
I'll watch it. I'm pretty sure he steps out of bounds on this. Maybe we won't be able to see it. Nope, we can't see it. It doesn't make any difference. That's not going to have any bearing on the outcome of this ball game.
When it rains, it pours. Johnson had a first down, a nice gain. I believe he was trying to switch hands with the football, and then somebody got a hand in there to pop it out. There's his 16th touchdown. The extra point by Bobby Eckhart is no good, but Lehighton still leads it big. 3:33 remains in the half. It is 34-0 Lehighton.
As a rule, the key to being a great comic is to take yourself absolutely seriously. That's why cats are born clowns. A cat can do outrageously funny things, but to himself, he's king of the jungle. But you know, because cat owners maybe 10 years ago allowed their pets to breed, thousands and thousands of these funny little guys have to be destroyed every single day. Let's get serious and have our cats spayed and neutered and end the tragedy of pet overpopulation. There's nothing funny about that.
What else are you going to say?
I'm not going to say anything. This ball game is over. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell anybody, well, the Cardinals can come back. All they got to do is not lose their cool and so on. This game is over. 34-0 in the second quarter against Lehighton. Forget it. Nobody's going to come back. I don't know. This is almost one of those this is one of those situations that causes people to say there ought to be a 30-point rule, as there is a 10-run rule in baseball.
Well, folks, get out your programs, because we may see a lot of people you don't usually see in the second half. Simelli to throw. Over the middle, floats one, incomplete. Lamont Hibbler bats it out of the hands of Bill Janucci. Janucci had it, and Hibbler was there defensively.
That Lehighton defense has just been so superb here in the first half. They have not allowed a first down against a good offensive football team. You mentioned, what are we going to say? Well, one of the things that has been running through my mind as I've watched this first half is, how did...
Simelli fumbled, and do the Cardinals have it, or does Lehighton have this one? The Cardinals get it back. Let's see, I believe it might have been Terry Blair who came in from the blinds, or from actually the front side here.
Yeah.
No, it is Mike Lush. Mike Lush is the man who knocked it out of his hand.
The thing that's been running through my mind is what happened to Pocono Mountain after they beat East Stroudsburg 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night. Something happened. I don't know what it was.
Here comes Pulowski, and he's got a big gain. to the 33-yard line. Kyle Williams makes the tackle.
But not enough for the first down.
They needed 26 for a first down. Let's see, they got to where they need about 4. So it is a 22-yard gain, and I believe
With that run by
that put him over.
Joe Pulowski, he becomes the all-time rushing leader at Pocono Mountain.
So Joe Pulowski has now become the all-time rushing leader at Pocono Mountain.
Certainly not the type of situation that Pulowski hoped for when he broke the record. He would have much preferred to have broken it in a winning situation rather than what he finds facing him and his teammates right now.
Do you think he is celebrating at this moment?
No, absolutely not. That's a very hollow achievement, unfortunately, for him. It still is a fine achievement, and I certainly don't mean to belittle it. The unfortunate thing is he can't enjoy it. But getting back to that point about the Cardinals experiencing something, I don't know what it was. I don't have a clue, as a matter of fact. But to beat an East Stroudsburg team that was undefeated in Centennial League action 2 weeks ago, rather handily, I believe it was 24-10 or 21-10, 21-10, I guess it was.
20-10.
20-10. And then last week to get clobbered by Notre Dame.
Johnson broke one tackle in the backfield, got a block, and then gets pushed out of bounds by Chris Green. But a penalty marker flew. That block that we referred to, I believe, was a clip.
Well, it's called a clip. I didn't really see it. I was watching Johnson, but it's called a clip. And as we look at it again, well, we don't have it on replay. The question would be, where was the defensive man in relation to the blocker when the blocker started to throw the block? I don't know.
So instead of a first down for Pocono Mountain, it will be 4th and a lot. Let's see. 4th and about 12.
And Murphy's Law still applies for the Cardinals. If something can go wrong, it will, and it has.
It's going to be right out here, and I had called up and told.
Well, Kurtz will punt it away.
Green hasn't run a punt back for a touchdown yet tonight.
Okay, so far. Oh, nice Pocono Mountain bounce down to the 25-yard line.
And Chris Green not going to take a chance. Stayed away from it.
Speaking of festivities here at Lehighton, once again, we talked about Joe Pulowski. Congratulations to him, becoming the all-time leading rusher at Pocono Mountain tonight. Also, Jimmy Wentz, a former coach here at Lehighton for many years, will be inducted into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame Lehigh Valley chapter. A nice ceremony at halftime for him forthcoming.
Yeah, Jim put a lot of years into Lehighton football and did a fantastic job for all those years, both as a head coach and as an assistant coach.
Kyle Williams is knocked out of bounds by Pulowski after picking up 3 or 4. And not only a good coach, but a good man, Jimmy.
Yes. I was about to say that he enjoyed the game because he enjoyed the kids. And that's what coaching at the high school level, that's what teaching at the high school level is all about, enjoying kids and working with kids. And Jim Wentz certainly enjoyed that and did it as well as it can be done.
Lehighton to a trips left formation. Kyle Williams, the lone setback, gets the gift. Straight ahead. Grabbed by Dave Morton. He'll still be shy of a first down.
Morton on the stop.
It will be 3rd and about 3.
3rd and 3, ball at the 32-yard line.
Kyle Williams now over the 100-yard rushing mark. Grab from behind and may have gone back under 100 yards. Kevin Van Duerson comes in and makes the play, and the Cardinals, feeling they may get the ball back with fairly good field position, call a timeout.
Lehighton at this point, Bob, may be vulnerable. I'd be a little concerned if I were Coach Parsons, not about the outcome of the ball game, but on those last 2 plays, it looked as though maybe some of the Indians were letting up a little bit. They know they've got this ball game in the bag, and of course, when that's the case, that's when somebody can get hurt. And I think if I were Coach Parsons, I'd be looking to get my starters out of there and give some of the kids who don't play as much an opportunity to play, because they're still fresh, they're still enthusiastic, and they're going to go out there and go 100%. When you're leading 34-0 with 37 seconds left to go in the first half, it's a little bit difficult to take the game seriously anymore.
Of course, the other side of the coin is, when do you take those guys out? They have to get used to playing later in the game. This is a high punt, albeit a fairly short one. It takes a Lehighton bounce across the 40 to the 36 and is down there. 24 seconds remain here in the first half. Lehighton leads it 34-0. Chris Green has 4 touchdowns, 3 runs, and a return of a fumble.
To answer your question, you do that in practice. You don't use a game as a physical conditioner. You make sure you work hard in practice all week so that you're ready to play in the 4th quarter. You don't have to, accomplish that out here.
Semelli throwing right. Complete. Johnson, first down.
First one.
Hibbler on the tackle. It is good for 15. And the first completion by Jim Semelli. And a quick timeout for Pocono Mountain. Here it is. Johnson was open.
Yes. But as we said before, it doesn't mean much. That's the first time the Cardinals have been in Lehighton territory, and that's with 5 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Indians up by 34.
If Lehighton can hold here, the Indian streak would be up to 17 quarters where the defense has not given up a touchdown. Lehighton has not given up a defensive touchdown since the first half of the Pleasant Valley game. 5 seconds remain here in the first half. You'd have to guess that if the Cardinals want to score, they're going to have to throw something deep. Something underneath would not help much unless a man can break a few tackles. Semelli, well, here's the underneath throw, and it is dropped. And it was a forward pass. It was Bill Janucci, the intended receiver, thus ending the first half. A first half that was all Lehighton. 34-0 Indians at halftime.
all-new Lehighton Lincoln Mercury on Interchange Road in Lehighton is fast becoming everyone's #1 spot for their complete automotive needs. Featuring a complete line of 1992 Lincoln and Mercuries, as well as a full-service rental and leasing department. They also offer an award-winning service department, complete with service loaners and free car washes. Remember, don't buy before you try your all-new Lehighton Lincoln Mercury.
We are back at Lehighton. It is 34-0. Lehighton leads this one at halftime, and down on the field, Jimmy Wentz is being presented with a plaque. He is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Presenting the award from the Lehigh Valley chapter of the National Football Foundation, now Bennick and John Whitehead. Jimmy played football at Lehighton in 1944, 45, 46, and 47. And at Kutztown State, he played an offensive and defensive end for 3 years. Jim was the head coach for 10 years at Lehighton High School with a record of 66 wins, 39 losses. While in the Centennial League for 6 years, he had a 35-11 record, 2 league championships. His coaching career as head coach and assistant spanned 28 years. Jim is married to the former Shirley Hill and has 3 sons, Gary, Greg, and Scott, 1 daughter, Cheryl, and also has 5 grandchildren. Jim is now retired and enjoying it. Congratulations, Jimmy Wentz.
Everyone wants the best for their home, from the kitchen to the bathroom. The place for quality and style is Best Supply, with 2 locations in Stroudsburg and Lehighton. Best Supply has many brand names to choose from: Craftmade, Elger, the Broadway Collection, and many more. Best Supply can help you with every corner of your home. So come visit one of our 2 locations and find out how Best Supply can give you the best in quality and style.
Lehighton leads it at halftime, 34-0 over Pocono Mountain. Tonight's game is being brought to you here on TV 13 by Jad's Restaurant, by Hager Furniture, Colombo & Sons Incorporated, Friends of DeLong Gerhardt Committee, George's Plumbing and Heating, by the Times News, the Pocono Post, SPCA Auxiliary, by Lehighton Lincoln Mercury, Best Supply Company, the Committee to elect Koch and McGilsky, by the First Eastern Bank, Carbon Notary Express, by Sestone Academic Systems, and by Scarcella Construction. Bob Capasso and Jim Nunemaker, along with the whole crew, out here at Lehighton, and the first half was all Lehighton. 11 first downs to 1 for Pocono Mountain. Lehighton had 1 penalty for 15 yards, 3 for 35 yards against Pocono Mountain. Lehighton had 234 total offensive yards. Pocono Mountain just 68.
Somebody stopped me on the way back to the booth, Bob, and said, what are you going to talk about the second half?
Put your back to the scoreboard.
As I said to you earlier, we will prove the old adage, silence is golden.
Have a good half, fellas.
Lehighton will Lehighton will kick off to start the second half. Pocono Mountain will get the ball. Jim Cimelli, 1 for 6 passing, 15 yards. He's been sacked once for -16 yards. Joe Pawlowski, 11 carries, 49 yards. Mike Johnson, 4 carries, 18 yards. He has that 1 catch for 15 yards. Matt Nero, 1 carry, 2 yards. They have 69 rushing yards. Take away the 16 on the sack. That gives them 53, 15 passing, 68 total. For Lehighton, Bobby Eckhart is 0 for 3 passing. He has carried the ball once for -1 yard. Chris Green, 7 carries, 123 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. He also has 1 on a fumble recovery return. Mike Gombert, 3 carries, no yards. Kyle Williams, 11 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown. And Mike Lush, 1 carry for 9 yards. That's 234 yards total, all rushing.
Impressive statistics for the Indians. An impressive offensive display. You know, there's really only one question that remains to be answered, and that is how long Coach Parsons will let the first units on offense and defense in here in the third quarter.
Johnson, Pulowski, and Janucci are deep. This will be Pulowski at the 15. 30. 40. 50. Can Terry Blair get him? No. Touchdown. Joe Pulowski.
Pulowski going all the way from about
It is an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Lehighton had that happen against Northwestern and now against Pocono Mountain.
And it makes you wonder what might have happened had the Cardinals not deferred at the beginning of the ball game. As we see it again, Bob, Pulowski finds the lane that returners always look for, and of course he's, I believe, the Centennial League sprint champion, and there was not much chance that he was going to get caught once he got that open field.
Chad Kurtz for the extra point. He slipped. It is blocked.
Well, I'll tell you, it wouldn't have mattered had he slipped or not. That was going to be blocked because the Indians, I believe, Chris Green was in position almost to pick it up and run with it before it was kicked.
34-6. Pocono Mountain is on the board with an 85-yard kickoff return by Joe Pulowski.
Brady Cuck has successfully guided Carbon County during his tenure as Carbon County Commissioner with dedication and hard work. He has the experience, wisdom, and the ability Carbon County needs. John Magilski has a reputation of accomplishment, resourcefulness, and competency in Borough Council matters and on the various committees and commissions he serves. Together, they have that winning combination that you, the residents of Carbon County, need and deserve. Cuck and Magilski, the team that has what it takes to effectively lead Carbon County. Vote for Cuck and Magilski on November 5th.
Pocono Mountain scores on the opening kickoff of the second half. It is an 85-yard return for Joe Pulowski, and Chad Kurtz is set to kick off to Chris Green, Kyle Williams, and Darrell Snyder. Kurtz's kick bounces out of bounds.
Kurtz's kick goes out of bounds.
I was hoping to get a look at the Lehighton team of 1992. See what they have coming up, because there are a lot of seniors on that Lehighton offensive ball club. That entire starting backfield is made up of seniors, when it is the Kyle Williams at fullback offensive alignment, and most of the offensive line, with the exception of right guard Steve Hawk, is made up of seniors.
Kurtz will move back 5 yards and kick off again. You saw the Lehighton coaching staff with the short sleeve shirts. I believe if we had a blizzard out here, it was 10 below, with a wind chill of 20 below, they'd be out in short sleeve shirts.
But it sure isn't that tonight.
No.
Too warm for football. A lot of people like this weather. I don't. I like late October to have a nip in the air, and there was no nip tonight.
Green, look out! Can Lehighton get one? Yes! Unbelievable! Can Green beat Kurtz? Touchdown! It's an 85-yard return!
You know, we could be here for a long time.
I have seen kickoffs return for touchdowns, but never, ever have I seen two consecutive kickoffs in this style. The kickoff after a kickoff return for a touchdown. Look at Chris Green.
Makes a nice move there. Realized that he was hemmed in, had to cut back across the field, had the quickness to do it.
And the extra point, no good by Timothy Hausman, but the Indians have scored again. It is 40-6. We have seen consecutive kickoffs run back for 85-yard touchdowns. Chris Green with his 5th touchdown of the evening.
Well, I told you he had to run a kickback, and you didn't listen to me as usual. The answer is, the question is, can you top this? And the Lehighton answer was, yes, we can.
I thought just that when he called off Kyle Williams for that kickoff, too. You saw Kyle backpedal to possibly field that kickoff, and we thought it wouldn't be interesting in the second half, right?
Yeah, but we may be here. I got plans for tomorrow morning, you know?
So do I, but this is fun.
For a while.
I hope the people that were watching in the first half and thought this one was over stayed with us and tuned to the second half. Halsman to kick off. 3 in a row?
No way.
Pulowski. Nope. No. Pulled down by Darryl Snyder, and then the penalty marker flies well after that play was over.
Yeah, we're going to have a penalty against the Pocono Mountain bench. I think somebody over there said something, and one of the officials didn't like it.
So that will be a 15-yarder, their 3rd 15-yarder in this ball game. Lehighton led 34-0 at halftime. Joe Pulowski returned the second half kickoff, 85 yards for a touchdown. The ensuing kickoff by Pocono Mountain was returned 85 yards by Chris Green for a touchdown.
First and 25.
That was a dead ball foul, Bob, so that the penalty is marched off after the ball is spotted, so it is first down and 25 for the Cardinals.
Chris Green with 17 touchdowns on the season with 5 tonight. Here's the give to Pulowski, and he goes nowhere. Grab behind the line of scrimmage by Ryan Wentz, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, Wentz got inside, made nice penetration. Pulowski didn't have a chance.
Second and 26.
They lost a yard. It is 2nd and 26. Simelli to throw. Looking right for Johnson, incomplete. Mike Gombert was out in coverage.
Gombert descending on the play.
Third and 26.
Tough situation to be in for the Cardinals. Came down here looking to get back in the Centennial League race. Reasonably thought they had a good shot at winning the ball game, and found themselves trailing at halftime 34-0. Tough roll for them.
Simelli to throw. Tries the screen. Is that a fumble? Or an incomplete pass? I think it's an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. I hope we can see this again.
Well, it looked to me as though he were trying to throw it, although...
Yes, he did reach up and kind of flip it out there.
He had the presence of mind to get rid of the ball. He knew he was about to be hit, probably for a safety.
And a good call.
Yes, definitely.
Kurtz to punt, left-footed. Yes, he did kick off with his right foot, and yes, he does punt with his left foot. And he does it well. Fair catch by Chris Green at the 49 of Pocono Mountain. I do have a question, and it is very hard to get inside a kid's head, but how big of a deciding factor is it to take the first play from scrimmage and run for a touchdown? That's got to take a lot out of you.
Well, as I said in our pregame talk, I thought it was very important for the Cardinals to get off on the right foot tonight because of last week. They had to get that confidence restored. Well, when Chris Green ran that first play for a 69-yard touchdown, whatever confidence they had coming into this ballgame went down. That was important, Bob.
Kyle Williams picks up 12 and a first down. The tackle for Pocono Mountain made by Mike Santoro.
That touchdown was followed, if you recall, by a fumbled kickoff return, so that the Cardinals began their first drive in the first half on their own 13-yard line, I believe. So they needed to do well right off the bat.
Here's Comber. Boy, is he running hard. To the 30. Comber figures, hey, all these guys getting over 100 yards, I'm going to try too. Tom Lima and Jason Bazzoni make the stop.
Yeah, you know, Mike Gumbert, as we see him here on the crossbuck again, he's a good runner, but he is totally overshadowed on this Lehighton ball club. Had he gone to school somewhere else, he might have been an outstanding back.
2nd and 2. Kyle Williams straight ahead. Should have the first down. Bill Janucci makes the tackle. And a first down for Lehighton. First and 10, Lehighton. Chris Green on the give. Nothing out there.
No, a host of Cardinals there to stop Green on that play.
Matt Nero led the charge. Tom Lima was also there. It is 2nd down. They lost a yard, 2nd and 11.
Geez, that's a shame, you know. Green's average must have suffered. He was averaging what before that, roughly?
The 7 carries, 125 yards. 17-8, nearly 18 yards a carry. Whistles and a penalty marker flies before the play.
Pocono Mountain offside, too eager. And what did that yard loss do to his average? Went from 17 to what?
15 and a half.
A heck of a thing when you lose a yard and your average falls by 2 whole yards per carry. 5 touchdowns for Chris Green tonight. What a show, huh?
Wow.
Every way imaginable. Although he hasn't caught in the pass yet, has he?
You know, you said that in the first half. He hasn't returned a kick for a touchdown.
Right.
I don't think the Pocono Mountain fans are going to like you. Kyle Williams. First down. Jason Bazzoni in to make the tackle.
Ball at the 14-yard line.
The ball at the 14.
What's Lehighton's highest point total this year? Was it against Northwestern last week, 49?
45, yeah, against Northwestern 2 weeks ago. Mike Gombert on the give. Mike Johnson was the first man to stick a helmet into him. Joe Agnello also there. No gain, no loss, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 14.
If they should score here, is this the last we see of the starters?
I have to believe so. Because there's nothing to gain by keeping them in after this.
2nd and 10 Indians. The handoff again, the end around Mike Lush. And Lush is grabbed by Bill Janucci.
Nice defensive play because Janucci had to fight off a blocker and make the tackle all at the same time, and he did it nicely.
No gain, no loss, 3rd and 10. That cannot be a happy man right there, Joe Garrett.
No, no.
Of course, Lehighton's going to have to paint the visitors' locker room after he peeled it off the walls at halftime.
I'm sure.
Option right. Eckhart keeps prodding his way through, and then grabbed by Johnson and Nero.
One of the few times that I've seen Eckhart run the option play.
He picks up 4. It will be 4th and 6. The clock runs at the 5:20 mark.
And your statement about the clock runs is probably the most important issue here in the second half.
On 4th down, Eckhart pitches to Danny Steigerwald. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, still on his feet, and gets to the 1, and that'll be a Lehighton first down.
Good second effort. Always like to see kids show second and third effort. In this case, it gets Steigerwald and the Indians a first down. Hit there, kept fighting. Hit there, kept fighting.
And he got hit by some of the best that Pocono Mountain has.
Steigerwald, our running back of the future next year for the Indians. He's only a junior. 5'11", 170 pounds.
The Indians looking good in that backfield. You have to believe that they'll bring in Hibbler to be the quarterback, Steigerwald and Blair the halfbacks, and Darryl Snyder the fullback. Kyle Williams, the tailback now, gets the give, running right, still on his feet, and he did not get in. He lost the ball at the end of the play. It was down, ridden down by John Bradley. It will be 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. And a timeout called by Lehighton. 3:54 remains in the 3rd quarter. The Indians lead it 40-6.
The Lehighton version of the tomahawk chop.
Why do so many people come to First Eastern? It's because we offer so many kinds of loans. Loans for appliances, home improvements, cars, mortgages, and lots of other good reasons. So the next time you need money, think First Eastern.
We're here where you need us.
First Eastern Bank and People's First Bank.
The tomahawk chop,
which has become a national issue.
Yes, Lehighton listed in USA Today a few days ago. Play action fake, the throw to the end zone, touchdown, Danny Fry.
Should have been to Chris Green, so he could have caught a pass as a means of scoring tonight.
Bobby Eckhart has completed 1 of his 4 passes tonight, and it's for a touchdown.
Well thrown ball, nice pattern, nice throw, good catch. Eckhart pleased, I'm sure, as is Fry and as is Coach Parsons.
Hausman for the extra point. Hibbler to hold, the kick is up, and it is good. 3:51 remains, 3rd quarter, 47-6, Lehighton.
Carbon Notary Express and Business Service is the complete notary to take care of your title transfers, out-of-state titles, T-tags, driver's licenses, birth certificates, and much more, with messenger service to Harrisburg. We invite you to come in for fast, efficient parcel shipping, with next-day air service and packaging supplies. Take advantage of our public fax service, which can send or receive 24 hours a day. Stop by for quick copy service with clean, clear copies. Don't forget Fido. See us for your dog license needs. Open Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Drop in or call today.
You mentioned a moment ago, Bob, that Lehighton was mentioned in USA Today this week. The
Correct.
story?
On Wednesday, and we'll talk about it after the kickoff, Hausman with the kick. And it will be Murley on the run back. Reverse. Johnson with some room. Could it happen again? No.
You are a dreamer.
Ridden out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Lamont Hibbler made the tackle in another nice run back. Unbelievable. Dave Parsons cannot be happy about the breakdown in kickoff coverage. They tried it before, and they do it here. On Wednesday, the story about the tomahawk chop and the Braves came to a head. There were a number of articles in USA Today, and in their Around the Country section, where they list things that happen throughout every state, they listed every school that has a nickname of the Braves, the Indians, the Warriors. There's a reverse by Johnson. Grab behind the line of scrimmage by Darryl Snyder.
Snyder sat there at his linebacking position for a moment, waited to see things happen. When he saw it, he makes a beeline for Johnson there and makes a great play. Nice job by Snyder.
They lose 5. It'll be 2nd and 15. And of course, in that listing, the Indians down there, and Lehighton, of course, in the list.
I'll be honest with you. I have a problem with any group that takes itself so seriously that it is unable to see something positive. There is no way that the tomahawk chop is done disrespectfully. It is not done sarcastically. It is not done to humiliate. It is done in the spirit of a contest. And why someone can't understand that, I just do not understand myself.
Murley was that intended receiver. Hibbler on the coverage. 3rd down and 15. Draw. Pulowski. Stop. Snyder and Lush again. You know, I did think that way, but I thought about this. Most of those nicknames, things like Indians, Crusaders, Cavaliers, are for people of a long-gone era. Obviously, the Indian name coming from years ago, not from the recent. Semelli gets grabbed and thrown down, but we're going to have a face mask. Steve Hawk grabbed a hold of the face mask, and Pocono could end up with a first down here. I just believe that the fact that there are many Native Americans, Indians, still around and referred to as Indians, it is racial. It has become racial. It would be very close to calling someone the Lehighton Italians or the Lehighton.
But they don't take offense at the
or
name. They're not saying the Braves shouldn't be the Braves or the Lehighton Indians shouldn't be the Indians. They take umbrage at the tomahawk chop, and it's not a mockery of Native Americans or American Indians. As I said before, they're not being ridiculed in any way, shape, or form. It's like if I'm bald or well on my way to being bald, you can mock me, laugh at me, joke about that all night long. What do I care? I'm not going to take myself so seriously that I can't laugh at my lack of hair, or I can't laugh at you laughing at my lack of hair. That's why I can't understand people who can't see the good or the humor or whatever in a situation and always have to feel that somehow they're being put down as we watch Pocono get the first down.
Pulowski running right, and it is again Mike Lush coming up and making the tackle, and they turn it over on downs. The penalty was not enough to give them a first down. They stop Pulowski in his tracks, and the Indians get it back.
Well, now I'll be interested to see here if the Indians come back out with that first unit for any length of time. They have the first unit in there right now, with the exception that Steigerwald is in at the right halfback slot, but the rest of it is the first unit. I will be very surprised if they stay in there too long.
Penalty markers fly. Kyle Williams goes straight ahead. The Cardinals say they have the football, and they do. But what is the penalty?
Backfield motion. It'll be refused.
Obviously.
And now that first defensive unit may stay on the field.
I'm sure that Lehighton does not want to give up their consecutive quarter streak of not giving up a touchdown. It is up to 17, and should they hold for the next minute and a half, it would be 18. 18 straight quarters without giving up a defensive touchdown. A defensive touchdown. Simelli to throw. Throwing left side, incomplete. Pulowski was the intended receiver, and he heard the footsteps of Chris Green.
And Simelli under pressure, can't get his feet set, can't get his shoulders turned in the ball. I'm not sure if it was a wounded duck, but it wasn't badly wounded, but it wasn't healthy either.
Pardon, it was Kyle Williams who was covering. Second and 10 for Pocono Mountain. The ball at the Lehighton 30-yard line. 1:10 remains third quarter. The Indians lead it 47-6. Simelli, straight drop back. Rushed, throws, incomplete. Mike Lush putting on the pressure. He tried to drop it off for Joe Pulowski, and it was incomplete.
Well, it was supposed to be a screen pass, but you can't just turn and let the defenders have an open and immediate shot at the quarterback. You got to give him some protection to set up the screen, but the Cardinals barely gave Simelli enough time to get back and turn around.
3rd and 10. Simelli again to throw. Pumps, then gets covered by Indians. Hawk in there. Wentz was the man who records the sack. Ryan Wentz, the defensive tackle.
Danny Fry also probably should get credit for part of that sack. I think he's there at the bottom of the pile along with Wentz.
That is the second sack by the Lehighton defense. 4th down and 15 for Pocono Mountain. Simelli back. Over the middle. Throws. Complete. And a first down. It is Janucci. 17 and a first down. And only the first down of the second half.
If Lehighton has had a weakness this year, it has been pass defense. Kazi Kashulik for the Panthers of Panther Valley exploited it.
And the consecutive quarter streak without the defense giving up a touchdown has ballooned to 18. That is it for the third. It is 47-6 Lehighton.
Today's game is being brought to you by Cestone Academic Systems. Let Cestone Academic Systems help you obtain the necessary financing you need to go to college and stay in college. An investment with Cestone is an investment in your future. Call today.
First and 10, first play of the fourth quarter, thrown, touchdown. Jim Cimelli to Bill Janucci. It is an 18-yard touchdown pass from Cimelli to Janucci.
Nicely thrown ball right in Janucci's hands. Makes a nice catch in the end zone to end that scoreless streak.
30 yards, 6 plays for the Cardinals, and the offense is on the board. Kurtz for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 11:56 remains in the ball game. It is 47-13 Lehighton.
Is being brought to you by Scarcella Construction. Scarcella Construction is the Pocono's remodeling specialists for over 15 years. For commercial, residential, custom designed homes, plus roofing, additions, decks, garage, and basement conversion work, call today.
Lehighton leads it big. Opening of the fourth quarter, and a quick kick out of the huddle. The Cardinals tried to catch Lehighton off guard, but Mike Lush is there to make the catch.
Lush wide awake, almost took advantage of the opportunity given to him. Almost returned that for a touchdown.
First down, Lehighton. They have the ball at the 45 of Pocono Mountain. We'll see who is out there. Bobby Eckhart is still in at quarterback. Kyle Williams has left the field.
Chris Green's out there, but I'm sure he'll be out in a play or two.
Danny Steigerwald in there, and so is Joe Cuck. Joe Cuck, the fullback. There's Cuck on the give left. It is Bill Janucci and Kevin Van Duerson on the tackle.
A moment ago, I wanted to develop a point that Lehighton's one weakness appears to be pass defense. And we saw Panther Valley exploit that in the opening game. Lehighton, before this season is over, is going to face one fine passer from Notre Dame.
Kyle Williams. Oh, no.
Chris Green.
Or Chris Green, rather. He did it again. He did it again. Chris Green with the touchdown.
What's that, 6 tonight?
6 tonight. That one, I believe, from, what, 42 yards?
$45 yards on 2 plays for the Indians.
The extra point kick is low, no good. And this one is ugly. 53-13.
Local programming at its best.
6 touchdowns tonight for Chris Green. A 69-yard run, a 5-yard run, a 2-yard run, a 26-yard fumble recovery return, an 85-yard kickoff return, and a 42-yard run.
I don't know why he hasn't let him catch a pass.
It is Pulowski, and Pulowski is grabbed by Joe Cuck.
With that touchdown scored by Chris Green, Green has now set a new Lehighton scoring record, breaking the record held by Clayton Andrews of 125 points scored in the season. Green now has 126.
And just announced to the crowd, Chris Green has broken the Lehighton season scoring record with 126 points, eclipsing the 125 points of Clayton Andrews. Timeout. 10:18 is left. 53-13.
Join host Squirrel Fair and Larry Williams for the 1991 Slatington Halloween Parade. Watch the parade Monday, October 28th at 10 p.m. and Tuesday, October 29th at 7 p.m. right here on TV 13.
Play.
1st and 10. Pocono Mountain throws incomplete. Looking for Janucci with Simelli.
We got a host of new Indians out there now. And this is going to be the longest 10 minutes and 14 seconds, Bob, that you and I have ever sat through.
Timeout.
Again for Lehighton.
Dave Parsons out there trying to make sure the kids that are in there know what they're doing.
And now the Indians starting to think ahead a week to next weekend, when on Saturday night they will travel to the Purple Pit.
Not an enviable task.
No, against a good East Stroudsburg team. Not as good as some East Stroudsburg teams of the past, but nonetheless a good East Stroudsburg team. And that should be a good ball game Saturday night. Very often, that Lehighton East Stroudsburg game turns out other than what the records going into the game would suggest.
Exactly. Simelli back to throw. Rushed. Now with room to run, and he runs out of room, and he runs out of time. It is Brian Ware, a junior for Lehighton, making the tackle. The 3rd sack for the Indians.
Third and 14.
3rd and long for Pocono Mountain. Long being the operative word for the Cardinals all night long.
All night long is right.
The ball is just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Pulowski. Pulowski picks up about 5. Mark Sterling, the sophomore linebacker, makes the tackle.
4th down and 9.
Lehighton has always prided themselves on holding big-time runners under their average, under the magical 100-yard mark. Back to pass Simelli. And he runs out of time. Again, the 4th sack. Barry Chrisman comes in and makes the tackle for Lehighton. And they turn it over on downs. Joe Pulowski, 14 carries, 53 yards tonight.
Notre Dame shut him down last week. He had over 100 yards, but I believe he picked up most of that yardage on one carry, a 90-some-yard, 97-yard touchdown run. Other than that, I believe he was held to about 30 yards. Hibbler in the quarterback, Bob.
Hibbler, the quarterback of the future, out to the outside. Dom DeLello makes the tackle. It is a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Hibbler, a 5'9", 150-pound junior. And as you said, he is probably the quarterback of 1992 for Lehighton.
Straight ahead, Cook! Touchdown. It is a 22-yard touchdown run.
And that's the Kyle Williams play. Straight ahead out of that fullback in the wishbone, and I think one man laid a hand on him.
Well, if they have the kids in there, you can't tell them to not play.
Oh, absolutely not.
The extra point kick is wide left by Hausman. 7:49 remains. 59-13 Lehighton.
And this was going to be a close ball game.
Once again, TV 13 brings you exciting college football from East Stroudsburg University. Join Quentin Curry and Chris Doty as the Warriors tackle PSAC Division II foes IUP, Mansfield, and Westchester, as well as non-league opponent Buffalo University. The Warriors are on the warpath. Join them on TV 13.
All right, Lehighton will kick off. Hausman bounces it. And this will be Murley. Fumble.
It was going to be that reverse again.
Brent Hartman and Brad Horn there. They cover it up. We want to remind you that the Monday evening quarterback will be preempted this Monday evening. I'll tell you why in just a moment. It is Jason Bozzoni, the quarterback, complete to the outside to number 2, for whom we do not have a name. And it is a first down. Bozzoni back to pass. Throwing near side. This one is complete to number 2 again, and he is knocked out of bounds by Sean Monk. And it nearly took out John Burns.
And Coach Parsons out there giving that defensive halfback all kinds of grief. The fact that the first unit isn't in there in Coach Parsons' mind is no excuse for not playing the game the right way. And he wants his kids out there doing what they're taught to do in practice. Maybe that's why they're successful year in and year out.
Bozzoni to throw again. Right side, incomplete. Danny Steigerwald was the closest man to it. Coming up on this Monday evening from 7 to 8, it will be a live judicial debate between Richard Webb and William Schwab. Therefore, the Monday evening quarterback will be off for a week, and we will return with Steve Alushak the following week as they get set to go into their rivalry with Palmerton. That'll be the 4th, I believe, is the date on that. Bozzoni rolling right, throwing, nearly intercepted by Mike Surface.
Crispin putting the pressure on for the Indians.
So it will be 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. 7:03 remains. Lehighton leads it 59-13. Draw play, Matt Duffy. And he will be pushed out of bounds shy of the first down. Brian Ware makes the Indians stop. Fourth and 3. Gazzoni, Duffy, fumble. Lehighton has it. That is the 4th fumble given up by the Cardinals. Duffy just never had the ball.
No, but it was there. He just couldn't hold on. And that sort of typifies the type of night it's been for Pocono Mountain.
Lehighton comes out 1st and 10. Hibbler is the quarterback. Joe Cuck, the fullback. Steigerwald and Blair, the halfbacks. This is Blair. Blair to the 45.
And a host of new Cardinals out there now.
Next week, we will see if the Cardinals can bounce back. They will be back at home, taking on Stroudsburg. The Mounties still very much in the race, depending on what they do tonight. Here's the handoff to Cuck. The tackle made by Pete Herchick, and a first down for Lehighton.
After tonight, there are 3 teams still with a reasonable shot at the Centennial League crown. Obviously, Lehighton in the driver's seat. They are in control of their own destiny. But if East Stroudsburg and Stroudsburg win this weekend, why, they will have only 1 loss, and the Cavaliers will have an opportunity to play.
Blair on the pitch, run out of bounds by C.J. Sipowicz.
Play Lehighton next week, next Saturday night, as we said earlier. Unfortunately, we won't be there.
No, East Stroudsburg in the afternoon.
Right.
Boy, that'd be a heck of a game to see.
I'm afraid to say that anymore. But it should be. It has always been.
2nd down, the handoff is to Keith Reed. Keith Oney makes the tackle for Pocono Mountain.
That's one of those games I might go see just because it's going to be a good ball game.
Yes. Or at least supposed to be.
Right.
Third down 3. Blair, first down, and a little bit more. Pete Herchick makes the tackle for the Cardinals. And another Lehighton first down.
And this Indian unit able to move the ball.
It is a 15-yard gain for Terry Blair. Straight ahead, breaks a couple of tackles, still up, heads to the 6-yard line.
Nice effort by Cuck. Runs hard. Cuck's
he's a senior.
Senior?
Still up, still up. Keep going. Got him. Dan Altamose made the tackle. Another first down for Lehighton at the 6-yard line of Pocono Mountain. Handoff is to Blair. Blair fights his way for the touchdown. Terry Blair from 6 yards out for the touchdown.
And I believe Blair is one of the backs of the future for the Indians. He's a junior, 5'10", 165 pounds. And certainly Coach Parsons, when he starts to assemble the 1992 Indian squad, will know where to begin.
The extra point kick is no good. Folks, there are 4 minutes left in this game, and to do the scoring summary, we'd better start soon. It is 65-13, Lehighton. Well, it feels like ancient history since number 24 right there, Chris Green, ran the opening play from scrimmage for Lehighton for a 69-yard touchdown to make it 6-0.
This may be the longest game of the year.
The pickup by Chris Devlin and run back, first down, Pocono Mountain.
And I don't believe any time ran off the clock. We'll have to talk to our timer up here, Mel Everett. Wake him up, get him to keep that clock running.
First down, Cardinals. Bozzoni at quarterback will throw, incomplete. He was looking for Pete Herchick. The clock stops at 3:44. Chris Green ran the first play from scrimmage back for a touchdown, 69 yards to make it 6-0. Chris Green went in from 5 yards to make it 14-0. In the second quarter, Kyle Williams ran 58 yards for a touchdown, 20-0. Green from 2 to make it 28-0. Chris Green with a 26-yard return of a fumble, 34-0 at the half. Bozzoni to throw, or try to, throws it. Cuck was there to hit it. Are they going to say it was a fumble? Yes, fumble. Lehighton has it. Brian Ware with the recovery. Joe Cuck with the forced fumble. And that is the 5th fumble recovered by the Indians. Lehighton scored 34 points in the first half. On the opening kickoff of the second half, Joe Pulowski ran 85 yards for a touchdown to make it 34-6. But then Chris Green returned the ensuing kickoff 85 yards for a touchdown to make it 40-6. There's Joe Cuck straight ahead. He'll get a couple. And a penalty marker flew. Danny Fry caught a 3-yard pass from Bobby Eckhart to make it 47-6. Bill Janucci caught an 18-yard pass from Jim Simelli for Pocono Mountain, 47-13. Chris Green ran for 42 yards for a touchdown to make it 53-13. Joe Cuck with a 22-yard run, 59-13. Terry Blair with a 6-yard run, 65-13.
And the Cardinals have just been penalized 15 yards. For a personal foul.
Is this going to be another Lehighton touchdown? No. The runner was Mark Sterling to the 1.
And Sterling dropped at the goal. Second and goal from the 1.
Second and goal from the 1.
You mentioned earlier that we're going to see Pocono Mountain next week against Stroudsburg. It will be interesting to see if they are able to bounce back, because getting beat 71 or 72 or 73 to 13 is not something you shrug off easily.
That was Lamont Hibbler for the touchdown. I have no more room, folks. I have written everywhere I can write. The extra point kick is no good by Steve Hawk. 2:01 remains. Lehighton leads it 71 to 13.
Remember Blue Ridge Cable for diversity. As the cable industry enters the 1990s, Blue Ridge Cable is growing with it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our customer service is the best it can be. Blue Ridge Cable brings you more programs than ever before, featuring Panorama, the Sports Channel, TBS, Lifetime, QVC, Nickelodeon, Nashville, Arts, WVIA, C-SPAN, Discovery, CNN, and the newly added Country Music Television and American Movie Classics. Blue Ridge Cable is a real bargain, offering a variety of programs at economical rates. Plus, Blue Ridge Cable offers Showtime, Prism, Cinemax, Disney, HBO, and pay-per-view. Don't forget Channel 13's iWatch News. You can't beat it for keeping you up to the minute with what's going on in your local community. On Blue Ridge Cable, there's always something of interest for all ages. Blue Ridge Cable brings you more of what you want and more channel selections. Blue Ridge Cable is diversity.
Lehighton set to kick off. It is Murley. Brent Hartman makes the tackle. And we are about a minute and a half away from completion. Carries, 124 yards and a touchdown for Kyle Williams. 9 carries, 166 yards. 4 touchdowns on the ground for Chris Green. And here is a give to Duffy.
And Duffy on the carry gets to the 40-yard line.
Stopped by Steigerwald. Chris Green also had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a fumble recovery return for a touchdown. Six all told. He broke the Lehighton single-season scoring record held by Clayton Andrews. Here is a give to Joe Agnello. Stopped by Brian Ware.
Joe Agnello on the carry.
30 seconds. If the referee can wait just 5 more seconds, we won't have to snap it again. I guess Pocono Mountain will. Duffy on the give. First down. Steigerwald and Michael Surface make the tackle, and that should be the last play of the game. 5 seconds left. And the game is over. Lehighton has won it. They are now go. 8 up and 1 down on the season, 6-0, and in first place all alone in the Centennial League. Lehighton will be at East Stroudsburg Saturday night. Pocono Mountain is now 5 up and 4 down overall, 4-2 in the Centennial League. Their next game will be at home against Stroudsburg, and we will have that for you right here on TV 13.
I certainly don't have much to say. Lehighton came out hot, no doubt about it. Pocono Mountain couldn't do anything right. As I said earlier, Murphy's Law seemed to apply tonight. Whatever could go wrong for him did. And that's all she wrote.
The final score, Lehighton 71. Still doesn't sound right, but it is. Lehighton 71 and Pocono Mountain 13. For Jim Nunemaker and the whole crew, I'm Bob Capasso saying so long from Lehighton.